these might be some of the worst migrants that you can import into our beautiful country, America, and I'm going to show you exactly why. I expose things that the media won't, so make sure you follow me. First of all, who decided that this is a good idea? And it's not just Obama, it actually started with Bush, who imported way more Somali migrants than Obama did. Between 2001 and 2016, both Bush and Obama admitted almost 100,000 Somali refugees into the United States. 99.6% of all these Somalian refugees are Muslims. 30% of them were males between the age of 14 and 50. So how much does all of this cost America? Well, let me show you. The total revenue for the state of Minnesota the Somalians produce on an annual basis is anywhere between $1 to $1.4 billion. That means that the total amount of money that a Somalian contributes to the United States is anywhere between $2,700 and $4,100. The average American contributes about $18,000. This isn't even a quarter of what the average American produces to the American government. So let's say they bring in about $3,200 a year to the American government. Well, how much do they take away? And this doesn't include the fraud that we just found through Nick Shirley. 81% of Somali households depend on some form of federal and state assistance like SNAP or Medicaid. If the household has kids, it rises up to 89% of households. About 60% rely on food stamps and about 80% rely on Medicaid, which means that the total amount that the federal government and the state government spends on each Somali migrant is anywhere between $12,000 to $20,000 annually. That includes direct benefits and public services. That means that on average, every Somali migrant costs the American government about $15,000 annually. On top of that, the majority of them commit massive fraud, stealing even more money from the American government.
If you're kicking out Somalis, you have to kick out everyone else.
So basically what he's saying there, the American government is putting out more money than the Somalians are contributing to the country. You know, they're not. When you've got 88% or over 80% of the people on some form of welfare, you're not contributing to the United States. You're just not contributing. And this is what everyone is finding out about them. They're like, I'd hate to call them pirates, but basically that's kind of the country that they're from. They made their money from pirating ships in the, the Red Sea or the Indian Ocean. I mean, it's a serious problem. And then they come over to America and we give them all these handouts that most Americans don't have and don't get. And these people have nerve to be arrogant about it. This was so ass backwards about these people and how they think. You've got to be somewhat delusional or completely delusional to come to another country that is not your country and be this arrogant and be this just this out of your mind and delusional about a country like America. They don't know America, but they will find out what America's all about. Let's go to the next.
Like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm speaking for all of my African brothers and sisters. If you kick Somalis out, you have to kick all of them out. All of us, we all leave together. Because if you kick us out, you have to kick everyone else. I'm gonna be honest, and I know everyone in the comments, everyone watching this video agrees with me.
Support.
No, everyone doesn't agree with you, and Africans don't agree with you as well. Africans already said, look, you put them in this situation where they are targeted in regards to TPS and revoking people's, denaturalizing people, you're going to have some serious problem with other Africans. They've already stood up and said they're going to sue you. They're going to sue you. So you're going to have more and more problems as Somalians if now you try to, like he said, oh, you're going to have to deport all of us and most people. And the weird thing about it, he said most people agree with him. No one agrees with you. Who is most people? People in your community that agree with you? See, this is a problem with people who come here who don't assimilate into mainstream society and want to have their little group. So basically what they did is say, hey, we don't want any outsider. We don't want anyone that's non-Muslim in our community. So therefore, in our community, we can basically do what we want to do. All we need to do is get one American to basically head our group. And that one American was a woman who's in jail now. So they've been exposed and completely exposed in Minnesota. Now, the American government is saying, hey, you know what? We've got to get these people out of the country at all costs. We don't care what it is. We've spent too much. They've stole too much money. They're arrogant. They didn't appreciate the opportunities. Like most people that come into the country, they appreciate their opportunity that America's given them and providing for them and giving them food, giving them jobs, letting them help them go to school. These people here are so delusional. When you come from a country that's like Somalia and it's one of the poorest countries in the world, this is what you get. This is the kind of mindset that you get. This is the worst kind of mindset coming into a nation like America to deceive people and steal people's taxes, tax money. It's a serious problem in America, and it's just going to get worse for these people. This is just the start. This is just the tip of the iceberg. And so
Everyone, because like people deserve to be here, because we shouldn't be illegal when this is literally like stolen land.
and this is a problem with their kids. They've got their kids out here. What did they get together and rehearse and say, oh, let's just say you say the people should be or people deserve to be here because this is stolen land, so we deserve to be here. America don't give a, a flying anything about you saying and having your kids saying this is stolen land. What that does is it exposes yourself more. You don't have adults to stand up as adults, and you can't be humble. Now you're teaching your kids not to be humble, is basically what you're doing. You're teaching them not to be humble. You're teaching them to be pretty much arrogant in what they do and what they say. This is why people say they want to get all of you out of here, all the Somalians, because it seems as if they have the same mindset that their parents have, and all of them have the same mindset that their village has. I don't care if they're 80,000, people are calling on them to be out of here. And look at them, they say we're Arabs. Well, Arabs don't even accept. You go to Saudi Arabia, you go to a mosque somewhere in a Muslim country, they're going to look at you and say, no, too dark. We don't want you. It's like two young men went over to a mosque. I think it was in Saudi Arabia, and they said no. And they said, well, we're Muslims. We want to come and pray, and we want to come be a part of the ceremonies. And they said, no, you can't be a part of the ceremonies. Basically, that we don't want you here. No, you're not from Saudi Arabia, and basically telling them they're too dark. So these people don't have anywhere to go but back to Somalia. And that's why people are hoping and wishing that they get rid of all of them. I'm not one to say, hey, with kids and everybody else, but that's basically what America is saying. We want to get rid of the whole lot of you.
Minnesota was promised to the Somalis 3,000 years ago.
Well, that's the biggest bunch of crap I ever heard because the Somalian country was established in 1960. You so full of crap, you spin it out.
There is no way that this guy does not get it. There is no way. Nah, like, seriously. Like, who's gonna tell him? Of course I know that Somalia was founded in 1960. But the one thing you're not getting is, it was founded in 1960 BC.
This is the thing. These people are just delusional. You cannot make this up. This is a concern, a major concern in America, because now we see that these people have they're emotionally disabled. They don't have any critical thinking skills. They're just emotional about everything that they do. They're trying to protect themselves, but they're doing it the wrong way. So we look at them as having some mental problems. And this is what we've brought into America, is people with mental problems. And the whole lot of them are like that. It's not just a few, not just this guy, not just the kids, but it's the leaders. The leaders came over here, and first they talked about Omar, their leader, their government representative, talked about, oh, America's going to turn into be one of the worst countries. Like America cares what she says. And they're basically what they're doing, they're saying, oh, you came over here and married your brother to have your brother come to America. So you've already committed immigration fraud. Okay, and then they're looking at all the money that she spearheaded and all the theft that came out of her community, and it seems like maybe she was involved with this. So they're looking at just about everything with these people. But I can tell you this, when you come into a country, and a lot of immigrants have come into this country over the decades, you have to basically humble yourself. You have to be quiet, and you have to go about your business quietly. But these people can't do that because there's a people who come from something that they've never had anything. You know, we've seen these people's kids and family members sitting on the side of the street with flies in their faces. You said it was sending money and food over to their community, food aid to their community, and a lot of black people participated in that, was sending money over there also back in the 80s. I think in the 70s and the 80s, even the early 90s maybe. So the concern is that if you come from nothing, if you're one of the poorest countries in the world, and you have to have food aid come to your country, okay, you have to have Americans and people all over countries all over the world supplying you with food and just about everything, you know, healthcare items and everything else. You don't come to a country like America and be arrogant. It's delusional. It's a mental problem. This is why we say a lot of these people have mental problems. But we'll see what happens within the next few months. They're supposed to be, TPS has ended. They're supposed to be out of here around March 17th. Once they get those people out, you can bet America is going to be denaturalizing some other people like Omar, and sending her back to Somalia and getting her out of the country. I mean, there's going to be a lot of heads rolling in this situation with Somalis. The roosters have come home, the chickens have come home to roost. As they say, the chickens have come home to roost. And I think this is just the tip of the iceberg, but we'll see what happens. I'll keep you tuned in. We'll see you next time.